So we have our therapist, Heather, on the phone line. And if you're a female, 18 to 30 years old, and maybe you had a helicopter parent, maybe you're going to find out why you are the way you are. We're going to talk to her in just a sec. Heather, thank you so much for being with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, Heather. So I guess I'm a helicopter dad. What are the long-term effects of me being that type of dad to my daughter, Ariela? And for those females that are listening, they're between the ages of 18 to 30. What things are they seeing in their lives that they're like, oh, that's why?
Yes, so I think that a good kind of compromise is the helicopter parenting is also called anxiety-driven parenting.
Yeah, I get a lot of anxiety too, yeah.
Yeah, what that means is we're actually reacting in fear. And anytime the kid falls down or they're going into a new situation, we're bringing our anxiety into the situation. But what's interesting about parenting is we're modeling. So the kid is watching everything we do. So what we're actually doing with helicopter parenting is modeling anxiety for your child that will probably last until their 20s, 30s, and 40s, actually.
Wow. That's interesting.
Effects,
I feel like I don't have any kids, but I feel like that makes sense because a lot of my friends are like, oh my God, do this, we got a parent. And granted, being safe to an extent is one thing, but we act like kids are so fragile. Right. Human beings are pretty resilient. We have survived a long time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think your kid is going to, just because they trip and fall on some, wood chips at the playground,
right? And
they cry a little bit, it's not bad just to be like, hey, get up, it'll be fine.
And I totally get that, Heather. And that's an eye-opener how you can transfer that to your kids. Whatever your worries are, whatever your fears are. But like, I do practice this, like when I'm on the playground with Ariela, and there's that bridge that moves around on the playground. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I let go of her hand, and I'm like, tú puedes. Like, you can do it. You're strong. For her to do it on her own. And she does that. So I guess to some extent, I'm trying to practice that. But then another extent, my anxiety and my other fears kind of take over. So that's so interesting. So if you're a 20-something-year-old female listening right now, and you do have anxiety, like, how can you work out of that? How can you change that to not have the fears that their parents put on them also manifest in their life today?
Right. So as an adult, we can always work on dealing with our mental health. A lot of times the first step is actually acknowledging it. So recognizing, do I always feel stressed out, or do I always have tension that I carry around? Am I always worrying? And from there, you can start using skills like mindfulness, being one with yourself and focusing on what are these internal feelings that I'm having, identifying them, and then figuring out tools to solve them.
I was just thinking, like, the opposite is, when your parents don't pay attention to you at all, and you're the, hey, look at me, kid, where you're, like, on top of the big toy, like, oh, no one's going to pay attention to me, watch me jump 30 feet onto my face.
You end up starring in the videos for Jackass.
That's right.
Chelsea, were your parents helicopter parents?
So I would say no. I mean, I was the second child. It's funny, when I was actually home for the holidays, we were watching videos of us as babies, and I just was, like, chilling on the ground while, like, all the other kids were running around, and my parents were, like, not that they weren't paying attention to me, but I was the second child, and my parents were very young when they had us too. And I think I actually would say my dad's become more of a helicopter dad as I've gotten older. Like, he's way more involved in my life and always checking in on me. So
I know why.
Yeah.
He listens to the show.
That's right. He hears about your dating escapades. I'd be worried too.
I will say, I mean, but I grew up to be very independent, and so I've been a very independent person. I rely on him more now because I am single, and so he's kind of the guy in my life that I go to for advice, and
Well, you've grown up to be a very independent, smart woman, have conquered all kinds of things. So they did a great job. So, Heather, thank you so much for enlightening us this morning. Anything else that you would like to add as your closing remarks?
Yeah, I just want to jump in on what Chelsea said. I think that the healthy style of parenting is going to develop a great sense of independence. It seems like Chelsea has a lot of confidence, which is, my guess, a result of that parenting also. So we want to just develop a sense where the kids believe in themselves, and that means that the parents have to believe in them first.
Oh, that's deep right there.
Thank you got to use this helicopter anxiety tactic to just make her nervous about things you want to be nervous about. Like, you see a little boy with a leather jacket, looks like a bad boy. You're like, oh no. So she grows up totally afraid of bad guys.
Thank you, bro. I'm gonna practice that. Next time I see a 3-year-old with a leather jacket,
selective, hair slicked back.
Yeah, at the playground.
In LA, that would happen.
Yeah. Be aware with the spiky-haired kids. Heather, we love you. Have a great day. Thank you so much.